Keep going. Franz Liszt or Bud Powell? No right answer. Tuesday the 8th, we are bringing Jimmy and Sam Farthing and friends to the old church in downtown Portland.
I'm sticking with Bach so far.
Great. Bach.
It's in a gypsy jazz group.
No right answers. No right answers. No right answers. Keep going. Welcome to the short chat. I'm Tyson Bidrick, and I have the pleasure of talking to Jimmy Grant today. These are just some chances to chat a little bit about an upcoming event in Portland, Oregon on October 8th at the lovely old church in downtown Portland. We've got Jimmy Grant, Sam Farthing, and friends, a wonderful concert coming up. So welcome to the short chat, Jimmy. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me. How you doing? You good?
I'm great, man. Yeah, thanks. You're in Paris right now, is that right?
Switzerland right now.
Switzerland right now. Cool. I lose track of you.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy.
Well, we're excited to have you in Portland. And so, yeah, get right to it. Question number one. How did you find your way to the swing music? Or how did you find your way to the music of Django Reinhardt and the related musical cultures?
When I was in high school, my dad was playing fiddle or violin. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's not really different, everyone. It's in a gypsy jazz group and they were playing at this music festival called the World Music Festival. It's a kind of a big festival there, and I saw it and I heard the song Russian Lullaby, and I was just like, after that I was hooked, and I just became obsessed in high school. And
nice.
So and then I delved deeper into the rabbit hole, as we do. Just all the money I had, I would just buy records and strings, gypsy jazz strings.
Nice. This is in Northern California, right?
Yeah, Northern California. So you still had to order everything from Europe, and it was extremely expensive.
Yeah. So before times.
Yeah. Before times. This was 2003. 2003, okay. 2002 or 2003. So it was kind of like cool. When it was coming back a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome. Making its new resurgence. When John Jorgensen started touring again, and then there was Hot Club of San Francisco, who's been around for 30 years now, which is crazy.
That's right. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So I've had a chance to see you perform in a handful of different configurations, ensembles. I've been really lucky to see you in really intimate settings, like house concerts with two people, whether it's Tim Kliphouse or Ava Slongo, what have you. I've seen you in support or leading groups at larger festivals, some big names. Couldn't name drop a bunch, but Django Fest Northwest in particular. So been really curious to see all the different ways that you plug in to an ensemble. And so one question I always like thinking about, and I want to ask you, is what makes those ensembles that you play in work so well, whether it's a 2-piece or 4 or 5-piece, or like what's most important for each member, not necessarily by instrument, but just in general, like what's important for each member in an ensemble in this style, like jazz manouche or acoustic jazz? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I could break the whole thing down. Like there's obvious, like, the rhythm guitar, violin, bass, and 2 guitars or whatever. But I really, I approach playing, and like if I'm playing a duet, I approach it differently than I would with the whole band. Of course, depending on my role. But you've seen me play duets with violin, different violinists, and it's I approach it with different chords, like than if I was playing in my full ensemble and I had a rhythm section. The chords I'm going to play are completely different than, the voicings are different, higher voicings. And so maybe that's a clear one. And then also how you play with dynamics and stuff is different. And like, sometimes I'm annoyed that there's a bass player. And sometimes, sometimes like, or a rhythm guitar, I'm just like, I'd rather just not have a rhythm guitar right now, but sometimes not, if you have I think it's the most important thing is that your rhythm is inspiring. Like you have to it has to feel and it has to push. And you always have to it has to swing. It's the most important part. But just like whatever you're doing, I think it just needs to be like you need to be listening to the other player, and then it needs to be, I mean, of course you don't want to take too many chances because that just leads to mistakes and things, but there's a balance of that. There's always a fine line. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is just, especially playing in duets, is you always have the flow of the music. Always you can't stop. There's like no matter what happens, you have to keep going. With the ensemble, you kind of have a little more freedom when you can stop and you have a rhythm section. But no, I think that the biggest thing is just you have to just be like, it needs to be pushy and inspired, and like it needs to swing, of course.
Well put. Yeah, it's great in this style of music. I think a lot of folks who are new to it, if you see like a quartet on stage, there's two guitarists, and a lot of times there's like known roles. There's a rhythm player and the lead player, so to speak, and everyone gets very inspired by perhaps what the leads players, they're sort of guiding our tour as far as the improvisation. But I think you just put it really well. It's like in this style of music, especially like this rhythm player, if they are driving or inspired, as opposed to just sort of like doing the bare minimum or what have you, it's noticeable.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I would go ahead and say you are among a good handful of folks who can do both of those roles quite well, and it's fun to hear you play solo lines, but also like I've seen you play with really great European artists here in the Northwest when they're visiting, and just to see you sit in that rhythm role and sort of like really enjoy it and go for it, like you just said.
Yeah, no, I enjoy just being in the rhythm role. Actually, the reason I started focusing more on improvisation was because I wasn't getting gigs. So I was like, okay, I need to learn how to do this so I can find work.
Nice. Yeah, and it's great, and then there are folks who take the opposite approach. It's like, well, I'm pretty good at this rhythm stuff. I got great ears. There's a lot of great solos out there, so let me try and do that. So I really like seeing how that works, and to have the sort of flexibility or dexterity to do both is pretty killer.
Yeah, and
so kudos to you.
Yeah, there's a lot of great examples of it too, though. If you listen to all the players in Django's rhythm section, they had their own. If you do your research, you'll see they had their own recordings and projects they had. And then there's like this is not Gypsy Jazz's Shoro music, but there's a guy, Rafael Rebello. I don't know if Rebello. I don't know if you know who he is, but like
I do
listen
know.
to him play. He plays these amazing solo pieces, and it's just incredible. And he's just like playing guitar by himself. But then like you'll hear a recording of Shoro, like a famous recording, and you're like, oh wow, this rhythm section is so amazing. And it's like it's him playing, and it's like you have no idea, like that it's. But with Gypsy Jazz, all the guys, it's the same thing,
Yeah.
It's just switching roles. I mean, if I'm playing rhythm all night, also I don't really want to take a solo because it's a different. I don't want to change my mindset of just like focusing on this. Like,
gotcha. Well, yeah. So we're going to be really blessed to have you and Sam and some friends in Portland,
some special guests
in October. Yep, special guests from Europe or otherwise. So looking forward to that. Last section here of the short chat. This first episode, thanks for being the guinea pig, is called Quick Hits Round. So some of these you've seen ahead of time. The last one, I'm going to put you on your toes, and this is just for fun. Great. There's no right answers perhaps, but so quick hits, real quick, just without thinking too much. Beverages, coffee or tea, or neither?
Coffee.
Great, same.
Tea occasionally, but
swing era bands, Count Basie's band or Duke Ellington's band?
Duke Ellington.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Superpowers. Would you rather be able to fly or have invisibility?
I think I would fly. Being invisible is just a little creepy.
Yeah. I think I agree. Musical superpower. Would you rather have unending melodic storytelling abilities or unending improv ideas?
Melodic storytelling. It's the same.
At some point, it might be the same. Sure. Yeah. Shredding's cool too, but telling stories also pretty cool. Last one, and this is you're familiar. It's like winner stays, right? So I'll give you two names, and then I'll give you a new name, and you have to decide. And again, this is complete arbitrary. one time slice today, you know. So
Yeah.
we're gonna go in the category away from guitars, just to have some fun. Keyboardists or piano players, right? So keyboard kings, winner stays. Here we go. Jelly Roll Morton, Fats Waller.
Probably Fats Waller. I don't know Jelly Roll Morton's music that well.
And and you can pretend to know all these guys. All right. Fats Waller or Rachmaninoff?
Probably Rachmaninoff.
Rachmaninoff or Teddy Wilson?
Oof. I'm going to keep going with Rachmaninoff. I love Teddy Wilson.
Rachmaninoff, Art Tatum.
Maybe Art Tatum.
Okay. Art Tatum or Franz Liszt? Again, this is pretty silly.
I'm going to go Franz Liszt.
Nice. Okay. Franz Liszt. Go ahead.
I'm digressing, but you should research his. I think it was Franz Liszt. His way of promoting concerts. If you ever get the chance,
that is good intel.
It's very impressive. Like
okay. Yeah, he was famous for sure back in the salon days for sure. Franz Liszt.
He would like.
We'll keep going. Franz Liszt or Bud Powell?
I'm gonna keep going. Franz Liszt.
Nice. Franz Liszt or Johann Sebastian Bach?
Bach.
Okay. Bach, Oscar Peterson.
Bach.
Thelonious Monk.
I'm sticking with Bach so far.
Great. Bach, Chick Corea.
Still at Bach.
Meldau. Brad Meldau.
Bach.
Johann Sebastian Bach or Emmett Cohen? Last one,
Bach.
I kind of knew it. I planted that one midway just for you, man. I love Bach as well. So, hey, man, thank you so much. This has been the Short Chat with Jimmy Grant. If you are in the Portland area in October, Tuesday the 8th, we are bringing Jimmy and Sam Farthing and friends to the old church in downtown Portland. It's a beautiful space, visibly, audibly. It's going to be a great time. You should join us. I'll give you a link in the bio so you'll be able to grab some tickets, and we'll see you there. Thanks, Jimmy.
All right. Thank you. I'll see you soon.